Okay? Let us now do the problem number 3. For problem number 3, what is the mathematics performance of the respondents when they are grouped according to these independent variables? Basically, if you look at your title, can you get back to your title? It only says, what is the NMAT performance? Can you get back to your title? Ano bang title niya? The influence of the academic and mathematics performance. If we're going to be true to that, the influence of academic and mathematics performance, you basically do not need to look into what is the mathematics performance, just that. You need how is this mathematics performance influence the NMAT performance. That's basically in your title. But for the sake of exercise, how are we going to determine the mathematics and the results in their mathematics performance of these BS Bio students? Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that in your statement of the problem, if you're doing your thesis already, this problem number 3 may not be one of your statement of the problems, but the procedure for doing this may be one of your sub-problems. Okay? But in our class, for the sake of exercise, we made it as a separate individual statement of the problem. I hope you get the point. Okay? So, okay, which means what exactly? Let's look at the problem now. Exactly what do we want? It says, what is the mathematics performance of the respondents when they're grouped according to, we will do the 3.3 type of school. Basically, when my students are from public or when my students are from private, when I group them according to that variable, type of school, public or private, what is their mathematics performance? If you look at the row, you cannot just automatically see that, right? So now you're going to really wanted to see exactly what is the performance of my students from those of the public school. And then, so as what Jay have said, basically you just wanted the mean and standard deviation of that, correct? You just wanted the mean and standard deviation. But from the mean, and we wanted to have a picture of how the mathematics performance of public schools, of those coming from the public school students are distributed, it would also be best to present it here, how they are distributed, because the mean will just produce the typical, the center, but the spread, you don't know. Are there people from the outstanding to poor? Because if you only present the mean, you automatically get maybe those from the public are outstanding, but you don't get to see, are there also coming from satisfactory and very satisfactory, only minimal because I have this mean. Alright, so basically, what we're going to do, if we wanted what Jay have said kanina, you just wanted to look at the public. Ano nga ba yun? We will group these students according to public or private, right? So the rest of the variables here may not be necessary, so you can delete them. But for my Excel, I just don't want to delete them, so I'll just leave it there. I will look at the type of school. No, I will group them according to type of school. So which means I have those from the public, I have those from the private. Can you see that? Look at that. Private, these people, correct? And so I can group them. For some of you, you separated them, that's just fine. No, you do not need to really follow this process. What I wanted is that they have to correct, right? So those are the people from the private. Look at that. These are the students from the private. And what is our interest? Their math. So if you look at their math, etong mga taga-private na to, ano yung average nila? So if you notice, you get from K4, right? K4 to K21, right? So just that, K4 to K21. So sabi ni Jay, eto lang naman, di ba, ang kailangan. So you just say average K4 hanggang K21. Yun. Yun ang average. No? And math performance. Kung sabi natin, bakit 1.86? 1.86, tapos ang nadinis ako kay outstanding 95, parang hindi naman yata pareho. Correct? Because we copied kanina the NMAT performance of that 95 to ganito, di ba? We had that, right? So which means that the math performance is according to grade, not your percentage results. Remember, math performance, this is the grade of the students while they were in tertiary level, no, average math performance while they were in tertiary. So some of you, again, ngano ganing variable ni siya, you already established that in your conceptual, that these are the variables you wanted to look into if they have influences on your NMAT performance. Okay? Which means I need to change all this. I need to change this. What is outstanding in math performance? So what are the results? I'm going to change this. Ano ba? Exactly what is outstanding? Anong grado? If we're going to 95 to 100 is what? What is 100 in Lourdes? What is 1? 95 yun, di ba? Oh. Correct. I'll just pause muna. Okay? Sige. So, look at that. We had this one. We have already presented that 1 to 1.25 for this. This is going to be the range that we're going to follow. That you may also consider your school's standard on doing this, and also for the description. You call this the description, no? This one, the qualitative description for the particular for a particular grade. So the mean for those coming from the public school in terms of their mathematics performance is 1.86. What is that? What is that? What's a qualitative description? What's 1.86? Very satisfactory. For those coming from the public school, very satisfactory. Okay? How about their standard deviation? Of course, I already discussed K4 to K21, ST-Dev, K4 to K21. You have 0.70. Is that large? That large? For grading system, for this particular grading system na 1, 2, 3 rataman, kanang ang standard deviation na 0.71, medyo spread. Malaki yung agwat, no? The majority. Alright? Sige. How about those coming from the private? How about those coming from the private? What are our coming from the private? We have the math performance on K. You have K22 hanggang K39. Sige, K32 hanggang K39. So, average K32 ba yan? 22 hanggang K39. Alright, 2. And then you ST-Dev, you have K22 hanggang K39, right? You got that? Okay? Let's talk about this one first. Let's talk about this one. Look at this, oh. The mean of those coming from the public school in terms of the respondents' mathematics performance is 1.86, and that's a qualitative, that is very satisfactory. And then those coming from the private, what's 2.04? 2.04 is satisfactory, right? Oh, so what does that tell you? What's happening?
Maybe there are restraints because there are many respondents for the right.
Okay. Sige. So you see here that the public, those students coming from the public school who took the NMAT has a mathematics performance, no, their average is very satisfactory. Okay, that is of higher mean than those coming from the private, correct? But does this tell us that they are better in terms of mathematics performance than those coming from the private? Not yet. This is just now the situation. No, so what do you think brought this? What do you think brought this results? Bakit ang lalaki ng grade ng mga galing sa public na gustong mag-doktor sa math performance? At sino yung mga galing sa public? Ano yung mga public na college? Ano yung mga public na college? Ito yung mga state universities, right? Oo, ha? Dili ni siya public na city high. Okay? Kasi college man yung pinag-uusapan natin. So they're done with college and they wanted to take up medicine, no? So NMAT. So done with college, nag-BS Bio sa isa ka state university. And ano yung sitwasyon sa state university? Mga scholar ng bayan man. So dili ni siya basta-basta na mga estudyante. Nga moral lang siya o public na pero state university ni gikan. No? Ito yung mga nag-UP. Diba? Okay. Sige. So you interpret that. But look at this. You have a mean, no, the typical among the public, and then you have the mean, typical among the private. But again, we say, what's the distribution? Why did we have this mean? How many are outstanding to get this mean? Marami bang outstanding o marami talagang very satisfactory? That's the reason why you have this mean. Right? So what do we say? Ang sabi natin, frequency, then K4 hanggang K22, comma, and then we look at the limit, correct? But we have not written the limit yet. So what are we going to do? So with this, so it's going to be 1.00 to 1.25, and then we have the 2.00, the 2.49, the 2.74, and the 3, correct? Okay, so ma'am, wala nag 2 decimal, so I'm gonna increase their decimal place. It goes like that. Okay, so you can write the rest here, 1.26, 2.01, no, and then 2.5, and then 2.75. Alright, and then of course we increase the decimal place. Alright, so again, let me get back. So frequency, and then you have K4 hanggang K22, comma, the upper limit, close, correct? Control Shift, Enter. You have that. If I wanted to just, are there 19 public students, public school students in your problem 1? Ano sa akin? The trial po, ha? Not your requirement. 19, right?
27.
Trial nga, di ba? Kasi I will not solve your requirement here. What's the point? Correct? Oh. Oo naman. Grabe naman. Oh.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Oo. Sige, sige. Private. Na-tense. Okay lang. Okay. Sige. What is our K22 to K39, no? Alright. And then we'll solve those from the private. Alright. So we have frequency. And then we have K22 hanggang K39, comma, the upper limit. Okay, and then Control Shift Enter. And then of course, what's the total of private? Oo, 18. 37 yata lahat, di ba? Oo, 37. Sabado naman gud kasi mana nilabay. Oo, 61 yung inyo. Okay. So, tingnan natin daw ito be. Kani daw kuno tanan. Which means you can put here para may n is equal to 18, is it? No? N, not the big N, but the small n. Okay. And then the public, you have n equals 17, 19. 19 yun. Right? So, let's look at this. You will see that your mean for your public students coming from the public school is 1.86, and this is how it's distributed. You will see that although a great number is of outstanding, you also have a great number from very satisfactory, and some distributed here. No? Oh, and you look at private. The mean is actually satisfactory. That. So, you see, sometimes you get a mean of satisfactory, but when you look at your distribution, di naman. Right? Hindi naman gani siya mao ang mode. Correct? So, naghihilahan yung nasa up at saka sa below, and you get even the satisfactory only 5%. You get that? So that also helps. And that's the reason why we only do not present just plainly the mean. You also present the distribution. Alright? So can you do the mental ability, the type of school, and let's see if you can come up with that. So if you can get the same answer, you also will be able to do it with your own requirement. No? So the requirement is of 61 respondents. So can you do that?